I'm Batman. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Good to see you and welcome back to the channel that ranks all of your favorite things in nerd culture, Nerd Lists. And today we are going to be dipping into the filmography of one of the most iconic, most recognizable symbols on the planet, the one, the only, the Dark Knight, that is Batman. We're gonna be looking at all of the films that we can for Batman, both series, both films and animated films, and all the whole thing, as much as we could find. But before we get into it today, please make sure you go down below and hit the subscribe button. It means the world to us. The thumbs up, because it means the world to YouTube. Leave a comment, let us know if you agree or disagree, or maybe there's some that you haven't seen before, and ring the bell. But without further ado, let's go beat up criminals. Alrighty, so as you can see here, these are all of the films and cartoons and everything that we found and could lay out and we feel like would be good for this list. So starting off super strong, Batman and Robin. If you haven't seen Batman and Robin, you're probably doing okay in life. All I have to really say here is bat nips. That's kind of all I've got for you. It was not very good. I do remember the movie quite a bit from when I was a kid. It was at my grandma's house and my grandma had the movie for whatever reason, and I watched the snot out of it. It was the early cartoon days where I lived in the middle of, you know, nowhere, and so getting my hand on comic book stuff was, you know, kind of a big deal. So for this movie, nostalgia doesn't save it though. This movie is kind of like a hard D with the schlockiness, with the absolute, you know, banger one-liners from Mr. Freeze, Arnold Schwarzenegger, by the way, Mr. Freeze, of like, hey, freeze, you know, dumb stuff like that, Poison Ivy. The bat nips alone, this is a D tier for me. Then we have Batman Begins, the saga, the Christopher Nolan saga, the kickoff point for it. And I gotta be honest, I absolutely love this movie. I do think that obviously, you know, the Dark Knight gets all the attention and stuff, and it's absolutely fantastic. But this one was a great point, and I love the twist with Ra's al Ghul, or Ra's, or Rash, however you say it. And then I love Cillian Murphy as Scarecrow. It was honestly, I have no complaints about this movie. For me, this is kind of an A-tier film. I don't think it's as good as the subsequent film, but this is honestly, this one's pretty dang good. If you haven't seen the Christopher Nolan series, I would definitely go check this out. Then we have Batman Forever, which is the film that came, I believe it's before Batman and Robin. I believe this is when it's just Batman. We have Jim Carrey as the Riddler and Tommy Lee Jones as Two-Face, and it kind of has the same schlock that the other one does. I don't remember if he has bat nips in this one. I don't think so, but I would say it's better than the Batman and Robin film. I would say I would watch this. I would put this one as a solid C tier. Like, it's still not a good movie, but it, you know, it's not as bad as the other one is basically what saves it. So then we have Batman Returns, and honestly, I am hyper conflicted about this film because we're going to talk about the one before. This is actually a sequel to Batman 1989, which we'll talk about that, but this is Michael Keaton's Batman. The Catwoman stuff was just weird for me, just weird. And honestly, Danny DeVito as the Penguin was just weird and gross. And I remember watching this again. This was the other kind of one that my family had as a kid, and I still kind of feel weird about what I had to watch. I'm gonna put this one at a D tier as well. I don't want to watch this movie. I really don't. I love Michael Keaton, but I do not love this movie. So then we have the Batman series, but with Adam West and the Batman suit. And honestly, this one's just good schlocky fun, like really old kind of comic booky stuff, like not like, you know, hard and gritty like we know Batman now. It's just kind of great detective but goofy kind of stuff. Honestly, just for the memes and the joy I got watching it with my family, I'm putting this one at a B. It's super fun. It's not technically, you know, like hardcore better of anything else on here, but like it's really good for just what it is, and it's fun. So it's fun, and it knows it's fun. It's not trying to be cool, unlike some of the other things on the list. So Adam West, sir, you get a B for me. 1989 Batman, Michael Keaton, and then we have Jack Nicholson as the Joker, which, dear God, is iconic. I've seen this film, like, I feel like hundreds of times. This was the one I watched the most growing up. My dad loves it. My dad's not big in the superhero stuff. My dad loves this film, so I have memories of that. This one's an S tier for me, man. The weird vibe, like, you know, there's Prince music in it. Many of the backgrounds and backdrops are obviously drawn. Danny Elfman, I think, does the score on it. But like this film, I don't know, man. You ever dance with the devil in the pale moonlight? Like, dude, absolutely fantastic. I don't know. Maybe this one is the nostalgia bump, but this is an S tier Batman film for just the sheer feeling of the age it was. It gets a lot of things right about Batman. honestly, like it's kind of that's leading into the gritty time. So it's good, man. So then we have Batman Year One, and honestly, a lot of people are kind of familiar with the vibe, at least if they've seen The Batman, which we'll get to. Honestly, as the animation goes, as the characters go, and as kind of like the early, honestly, I really enjoyed this one. I love the earlier Batman stuff, like Batman Year One, Batman Year Two kind of feels and deals, and this one captured everything, I guess, like out of the comics for me. You know, like I said, there are a lot of things that they also used in the Batman movie, like the one with Robert Pattinson. This one was fantastic. I'm gonna give this one like a solid B. Like, this one was great. It didn't like super strike like, you know, anything for me, like, you know, like, oh god, yes, but it was entertaining, and like it was cool to see like that adaptation. So this one's a B. Then we have Batman versus Superman, F tier. I love the style of Ben Affleck, like him as Bruce Wayne. I actually enjoy the gadgets, the suit, the weaving. I love all that. Everything else, he's killing people. He's using guns. He's literally not thinking with his head at all about, hey, maybe I should just go talk to this guy. It is, I know it's supposed to be like this jaded, older, I've been doing this forever Batman, but it's horrible. I absolutely hate it. I don't like it. However, the one caveat is it does have the coolest Batman's fight scene put to film in the warehouse. Not cool with the killing part, but like, you know, like where he grapples and throws the box at the dude's head, comes through floors and stuff, like that's super cool. But other than that, it's all actually not anywhere close to the Batman that I love. So this one's getting a hard F for me. I do not watch this film unless I have to. I've seen it 5 times now, and all 5 times I didn't like it, so I'm giving it no more chances. This is not the Batman movie you're looking for. Then we come to Lego Batman, and I gotta be honest, I feel bad about doing this, especially over some of the other films, but S tier for Lego Batman. But again, it kind of like the one we talked about with Adam West. This one knew it was just being funny, right? It was just having a good time, and with the cameos and the references and the voice acting and just what it was hilarious. I would watch this at any time. It's super fun to watch, and I highly recommend to go see it. If it's definitely a comedy, like you're not talking like I'm the best Batman, but like as far as a watch Batman films go, like this one's fun to watch, so I'd absolutely recommend it. It gets an S tier for me. So next we have Batman Mask of the Phantasm, and this one is uncannily good. I didn't expect it to be good, like because of the box art and the animation was you know, kind of odd. Not odd really, but just like, I don't know, something struck me as weird. But as I watched it, it's completely an enjoyable show. I love how they handle like Andrea, and I love how they handle Batman, and like that, like the part with the Joker at the end, which I don't want to spoil here or at all, but like, so go watch it if you haven't. As far as everything goes, I think I'm gonna put it like somewhere with like Batman Year One. It's super good, don't get me wrong. I just don't know if I, like, as far as watchability goes, if I put it above the ones that are above it. So Mask of the Phantasm gets a B for me. Then we have the Batman. Now this one made waves and had Robert Pattinson as Batman, and like, so that was going to be, you know, people are already judging it from that, and it took not years, but a while to do because of COVID. This one is actually pretty disappointing for me, but like, it's not a bad movie. I guess I kind of overestimated what they were going to do and how it was going to do. I do need to watch it again. I will say it right here. I do need to go watch it again. I watched it once and wasn't super thrilled. It was a good movie, and I expected it to be a great movie with everything that was going on. Pattinson did a good Batman. The pacing was just kind of weird for me, but like, obviously a ton of people loved it. For me, this B category is getting full. I'll put it at B. It has potential to go on and do cool things. I love the Year One early stuff, like I talked about earlier. And I love kind of the resources he had and the repurposed like bike and car and stuff like that. There was a lot more detective stuff, which was really cool. It just, I don't know. It seemed like there was too much movie there, and that's literally my only problem with it. Not that it was long, but that I don't know what part I would cut out either. It just felt like there was stuff that could have been cut. Paul Dano's Joker was very interesting. It's very modern. It was good. I don't know. Like, I want to love this movie more. I'm definitely gonna give it another watch. Right now, for me, my gut instinct is that it's at a B. So then we come to Batman: The Dark Knight Returns. I believe this one was split up into 2 parts, or I watched it in 2 parts, but this one is kind of the opposite end of, as far as storytelling goes. You know, new Batman, it's old Batman. He's old, he's grizzled, he's been put down a ton, like bad stuff has happened. Definitely, I recommend watching this one if that tells you anything. And it was the BVS I think we should have got. It was a better BVS than BVS was. It was really good. Even the old man stuff, it kind of had elements of other movies in the ending. I'm trying not to spoil it for you. The fight with Superman was super good, and how it led up to it was super good. And also, you know, seeing this old Batman with not a care in the world left, just to go out there and grind it out, it was really cool. So honestly, for me, like, this one's an A. I think this is better than the other animated films we have on here. as well as the other. I think this one's a solid A. This one's great. If you have not seen this one, especially if you haven't seen kind of those older Batman stories, like as far as he is older, it's absolutely worth checking out. Go check this one out. It's really good. Then I think this one, The Dark Knight Rises, can be super divisive because there was some plot points that were rather not super great, and like somehow certain villains were defeated just really easily in certain times. I do like the performances here. I am a fan of the ending with Bruce, and I'm also a fan. I am a fan of Tom Hardy Bane. I wish I could understand him a little bit easier, but like I am a fan of it. And I hate to do this, man, but this one's also a B. Like oh, we've had all these like I hate that phrase. We've had all these like mid-section Batman films and stuff. It's pretty good. I think if the other film in this franchise that we haven't talked about yet didn't exist, this one would probably be higher. But that other that other film in this franchise is The Dark Knight. I know over the years people have begun to slander what is good and great of this world, and have begun to say like, oh, it's not as good as people remember. The Dark Knight is like prime Batman. It is fantastic. Heath Ledger's Joker, legendary. And no, the movie's not only good because we lost Heath Ledger. The performances, the plot, everything from the characters from Harvey Dent to this is a fantastic, this is a prime Batman comics come to life kind of movie. Actual like straight up like, you know, we have weight, we have validity to the choices. Like this is a fantastic, this is obviously S tier. We've been talking about it for years. This is obviously one of the best Batman pieces of media that exists. I think this one just goes without saying. Fantastic film. If you haven't seen it, go watch it. It is the best. It is one of the top 3 best. It is the best, most modern Batman. So go do it. And then finally, we have one of the most famous Batman comics, one of them amongst the many. We have The Killing Joke. Now, The Killing Joke is very interesting. It's very graphic. There are some deep subject matters and stuff in this story, and the animation and the animated version of it really didn't shy away from any of it, which I commend, man. I'm putting this one at an A tier. I think if we were talking comics, this would be different, but I think some of the stuff that didn't translate super well on some parts from comics, but this was absolutely a great watch. It's a little bit slower, and it's definitely, like I said, heavier subject matter, but if you enjoy that kind of stuff, make sure you go check this one out as well. The final one on the list, it lands at an A tier for me. And that has been my definitive ranking of ranking all of the Batman media out there. Well, most of the Batman media out there. So what do you think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? Let me know down in the comments below. Again, make sure if you enjoyed the video today to hit the thumbs up, hit the bell, and subscribe. It means the world to us. But thank you for giving the video a chance and getting this far if you did get this far. So until next time, be safe, be kind to one another, and we'll see you on the next list.